Hi everyone, this is Ilina and welcome to another LDRS Creative card video. In this video, I'm featuring a few of the new products that were just released last week, including the Seesaw die. So we're going to make an interactive card. I'm a big fan of interactive cards. And I'm going to use, along with the Seesaw die, I'll use the up and away stamp set and coordinating dies. So here's the die set for the Seesaw. I'll use the Pull Here stamp from Down the Rabbit Hole, and then the images from Up and Away. There are 3 elephants and 2 balloons that I will use along with the sentiment. And then for my card front, I will use the Rainy Day Stencil to create my little scene. So I'm starting with a piece of white cardstock and Raven Hybrid ink. I'll stamp all the images at once. I'm using a stamp positioning tool to do that, but you can use acrylic block or anything you have. I just wanted to stamp all at once. So we have those stamped now, and we're gonna go ahead and die cut them. They're coordinating die set for each stamp from this stamp set. So by magic of YouTube, we have all the elements cut, and we're gonna move on to coloring. I'm coloring with alcohol-based markers, and since the ink we stamped, the Raven Hybrid ink, is waterproof as well alcohol marker friendly. You can use any coloring medium of your choice, whether it's water-based markers or watercolors or alcohol-based markers. So we just have the balloons left to color. We're finishing that up and we're gonna set those aside. So next we're gonna build the interactive piece. I'm using a piece of cardstock measuring 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm gonna cut the tracks. We have 2 vertical lines and little pierced dot in the middle. So position that in the center, a little bit down, lower onto my piece of cardstock. Next we're gonna die cut all the other elements. I'm gonna die cut 2 pull tabs, as well a few more of those ovals, and 2 moving tracks for that pull tab. Not moving tracks, but the holder for the pull tab. So magic of YouTube, we have everything cut now. So before moving to the assembly of the interactive part, we're gonna go ahead and decorate the front of the panel. So I'm using the Rainy Day Stencil. But before that, I decided to glue together 2 of the pull tabs. I wanted to have a little bit sturdier pull tabs, so if you play a lot with the card after it's made, I just wanted to make sure that it's nice and secure and sturdy. So I used liquid adhesive and I put it under a heavy acrylic block to dry. While that's drying, I'm using the Rainy Day Stencil to create my scene onto the front panel for my card, the one with that we die cut the tracks where our parts will be moving. The little elephants will be going up and down. I'm using Little Boy Blue and Prickly Pear Perfection to create my scene. So here are my elements, and we have 3 elephants, 2 balloons. I was just positioning to see how they're gonna look, and decided to go ahead and stencil also the whole line of clouds. So now we are done with that, and we're gonna stamp the sentiment. Stamp the sentiment in the middle towards the upper part of my card front. I'm gonna use the Raven Hybrid ink to stamp this. So I think that looks nice, and then I'll stamp Pull Here from Down the Rabbit Hole onto the pull tab. So the recipient of the card will know that they need to pull there. Next, what I'm doing, we have the little oval parts, and I'm gonna fold, like they have a score line, I'm gonna fold 4 of those in half along the score line and kind of slide them 2 by 2 into those tracks. Make sure they're nice and snug next to each other in the middle, and then I'll use another oval piece and I'll go to make sure they're snug. I'm using here the bone folder. Make sure they're like next to each other and lined up. I'm using another oval piece, applying adhesive and adhering it on top. And this will flatten out the folded oval pieces that we slid into the track. And on the front side, I'm just gonna adhere one of the round pieces and do the same. Make sure when you adhere them, the glue doesn't leak over and the moving part gets glued to the track. So we're doing the same on the second slot, the second track. I slid in two of the folded ovals, and next I'm adhering unfolded or not folded oval on the back and a little circle on the front. So I'll turn it over and adhere a little circle. Again, make sure that you can move this freely once it's dried. Otherwise, the mechanism gonna get stuck and not work for you. Next, we're using the triangle piece. This is the piece that moves everything. And I'll use a small brad. You see there's a little pierced hole that comes with it's done by the die itself. And we're gonna slit that brad starting from the front and secure it fasten it on the back side of the panel. And I'm using a thick piece of cardstock to flatten flatten the brad legs. So I just folded my piece of cardstock in half. If you don't have thicker piece of cardstock, you can do that. So then I position the slots over the little ovals there, and I'm adding a little foam square there and then another oval on top. I'm going to do the same on the other side. So just make sure that the slot of the triangle meets this little oval that's already on the bottom. Add the foam square and add another oval on top. So that created the moving mechanism. Now we need something to pull that moving mechanism, and we have the pull tab and the two pieces of cardstock. I cut two to make that pull tab more secure so it doesn't wobble too much. So there are score lines. You're gonna fold it along the score lines with the both pieces and adhere to create that ring or slot. That will be the track for the pull tab. So I'm lining up that pull tab with the slot, like the top slot of that triangle piece. And next I'll adhere the slots, the tracks for the pull tab close to each other. So it creates nice track for that pull tab. I'll slide the pull tab in and under that triangle piece and add a little foam square and another oval piece on top. So now that now our seesaw mechanism is created, and we can add the pieces, the images on front of our card. So you use foam squares to add the middle one, the elephant with the little mice. Then I'm adding the little balloons, I'm adhering them to the elephants to create one continuous image. And then using liquid adhesive a little bit on those circle die cuts on the front, I adhered the images. Next, what we have left is just to adhere that whole panel onto our card base. I'm using foam tape and I'm stacking it up. I'm doubling it up to have to give space for the mechanism so it doesn't get stuck. So here we go. So just add it around the edges. I didn't do anything in the middle, you can see here, so it doesn't interfere with the moving mechanism. I'm removing the backing and adhering to my paradise colored card base. So you can test it out. You can see the little elephants moving up and down. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching and see you soon in another video. Bye!